Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Chittam Mantraha. We have seen yesterday that the mantra which is made out of the words O, A, I, I, U, U, A, I, etc. All these mantras are meant for us to go back to our source. Instead of this, what happens? We get lost in this world. Therefore, in this second chapter, the mantra and the power of the mantra, the purpose of the mantra, this is being said. So let us take the first mantra just to summarize. Chittam Mantraha. There is nothing. The whole thing you can write on a postcard. The whole thing. So small it is. Chittam Mantra. So we have seen mantra means mananat trayate iti mantraha. That which protects us when we reflect on the meaning of the mantra. Normally we chant the mantra mechanically, and thereafter we have so many expectations out of this mantra chanting. If I chant this mantra, I should have the vision of God. And then all our efforts are seeking something as a result of this mantra chanting. And it is here we go wrong. See, there are three stages through which we have to go spiritually. One is Adi Bhautik, second is Adi Daivik, and third is Adhyatmik. Now when we are talking about the attributeless, formless Satchidananda, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, human mind cannot comprehend formless and nameless reality, because mind cannot exist without form and without names. Therefore, when we expose ourselves to utter silence, the mind dissolves. And therefore there is a fear. What will happen? And to get out of this fear of extinction, the mind starts playing tricks. Either it takes us in the violence of past memories, or it goes on projecting the future. By these two things, mind survives. And in the present, it will start comparisons. These are the three diets on which the mind survives. Either the past memories or future imagination, either in terms of planning or in terms of worrying. And the third thing is present comparisons. So, the mind doesn't want to die. This is Adi Bhautik aspect. The mind goes in the worldly objects and tries to discover fulfillment. And the mind itself has projected that I am not happy today because I do not have this particular object, I do not have this particular person, I wanted to get married to him, but he is not available. Without him, how the life will be? These are all the projections of the mind. Nobody has said it to him. He goes on imagining. And when this projection on the objective world is becoming stronger and stronger, then the mind is totally lost in the Adi Bhautik world. It has become Jad. And this happens not only while indulging with the world, but even while practicing the so-called spiritual life. We hardly practice spirituality. We are either leading a social life or a religious life. Because where objectivity is prominent, predominant and important, that is the Adi Bhautik life. Such people will be having either the material pursuits, or even if they are doing puja, in that puja, the gross things are very important. See? The idol, the various kinds of things, and then the beautiful decorations and all that. By that, we start thinking that we are walking a spiritual path, but it is not. We get lost in that. Same is the case in the Karma Kanda. In the Karma Kanda, you will see the Karma Kandis are very angry type of people. If they are doing something, if something is not as it is required, they become extremely agitated and angry. Because they are perfectionists. So, we get lost only in the Adi Bhautik aspect of our life. And by God's grace, we withdraw from there, then we enter Adi Daivik. Now, Adi Daivik positioning of the mind is, we are not much concerned about the world or the things or the beings or the undertakings, but we are concerned about the quality of our mind. Quality of our mind is more important. Let the whole world be on fire, who cares? Our mind should be at peace. This is the second stage when we are working on the mind consciously. So, when we come to the Adi Daivik, we are concerned about the quality of the mind. And what should be the quality of the mind? The mind is at peace before we begin any undertaking. The mind is at peace when we are going through the undertaking. The mind is at peace when the undertaking is over. That is what is more important for us. See, this is what, on that Lotus Temple inauguration, that day when I spoke for 2 minutes, this was the main point I brought out. When we respect or revere somebody, we are taking care of our mind. See, now here is Bhagavan Krishna standing. Whether we offer him flowers or we don't offer him flowers, it makes no difference to him. But when we offer flowers, we are benefited, because that time a sense of reverence predominates in our mind. See, like Tangarajanji has put the garland around my neck. Now so many of you are there. Now who is really benefited by this? Me or he? It is he is benefited, not me. Because at that moment of offering flowers, one has to have a sense of reverence and respect. See, friends, so first we give importance to the objective world. We are in Adi Bhautik Kshetra. We graduate from that, now we come to the level of the mind, Adi Daivik. Our concern is that the mind is not lost. All those people who are not taking care of this through proper understanding, they end up in depression and dejection. Somebody asked me about one book in one calendar, 365. thoughts. That is written by some girl. I'll tell you the story of that girl in short. Then we understand what is the meaning of Adi Daivik. She is a mother of 2 children, and she was having the gout of one peculiar kind, a Marwadi girl, gout of some kind, and because of that she was extremely painful and lying on the bed. She could not get up out of the bed. So miserable. A young girl, she was that time hardly in 23, 24 years of age, or maybe 25. And 3 years she was on the bed, not a day or two. Naturally, that age, she went into depression, frustration, and all kinds of Ayurvedic medicine, this, that, and now also she can't walk properly. She has to, with great difficulty she walks. So her husband one day brought her for my lecture in a place. And after the lecture, so many people, there are maybe about 2,000-3,000 people come for the lecture. If you want to see a quality human life, go to Gujarat. Gujarati as a people are decent. Nowhere you get. Of course, best are Tamil Nadu. I had to survive here for another 4 days. So, when in that big crowd, I saw her for no reason, because I don't function on cause and effect. For no reason, I called her, hey, come here. Okay. I said, are you useless? She said, yes. Come with me. Then I told her, you do the editing of this magazine, monthly bulletin of this organization. Swamiji, I have never done. I said, you don't worry, I will do through you, but you should be available. Okay, I am available. And she started. Slowly, within 1 or 2 editings, she became so perfect. 2 editings. And all her depression, frustration, everything slowly started disappearing. Then she said, Swamiji, what next? I said, take this series of meditation. About 130 meditations I have given her in MP3. I said, listen each meditation and write down. And show me how you write. And don't add anything from your side. It should come in this particular format. She started doing it. That is the book that is called as Let Meditation Happen. She has done that book. And after that was over, as if, out of an egg, a chicken came out. So full of life, cheer. See? And not only that, she became perfectly normal, but productive. She has herself written 3 books, extremely wonderful books. Now what was happening? Earlier she was lost in the Adi Bhautik. Why this is happening to me? Why God is, not, I have not done anything bad to others. Don't worry about that. Come out. See, friends, when we complain, we are in Adi Bhautik. And when we work on the mind and take care of our mind, then we are entering the Adi Daivik Kshetra. See, so we come to the Adi Daivik area. Now when we come to Adi Daivik area, most likely that we get lost in this. See? Because all the dormant potentialities start appearing. They start appearing in our life. These potentialities are in the form of reading somebody's mind. These potentialities are in terms of telling somebody and that thing is happening. Then you become a Babaji. This is the standard format of a Babaji. And if you are a Babaji using snuff, then this is the one. Because you don't want to tell others your secret is a snuff. No, this is Jnana Mudra. And the moment this opens, the jnana falls down. Then we start blessing the people, cursing the people. See, friends, if a thought of blessing and cursing comes in our mind, we are still at Adi Bhautik level. Curse and blessings can be given to someone who is other than us. See? The cursing and blessing is not done within. When my tongue is bitten by my teeth, the tongue doesn't curse the teeth. And when the tongue goes and digs between the teeth, remove the held up things there, the teeth don't thank the tongue, thank you darling, you are always helpful. No, because there is no sense of otherness. See, friends, so Adi Bhautik we get lost, or Adi Daivik we come, and after having come to Adi Daivik, again we are likely to be lost. Because then all the dormant potentialities in the form of siddhis, they start appearing. And then we get lost in doing good to the world. See, I'll tell you one story. Not a story, but the truth, what has happened somewhere. It happened many years before, in late 50s or 60s you can call. There was a great Mahatma in Bombay, his name was Gadge Maharaj. Ambedkar was his follower. And just to teach the people cleanliness, the jhadu, which has become a symbol of that party, this is old stuff, it's nothing new. So this Mahatma, he used to put on the leftover clothes of the people. He was taking only the used pants, shirts, shoes, socks, only used one, never new he put in his life. He was a great master, disciple of Shirdi Sai Baba. And he used to have only one pot made out of clay, which is called locally as Gadga. So therefore Gadge Maharaj. In that pot used to be his cap, he will tie it with a cloth. The same thing used to be his food plate, he used to take food in that. The same thing he used to use for taking water. The same thing he was using for taking bath. With the same pot, he used to go to the toilet. Only one pot, nothing else. He used to sleep on the floor, never he slept. He constructed many ashrams and institutions for the people in the pilgrimages. For himself, he used to sleep on the floor below a tree. That was his rule. And he used to have not kamandalu nor nothing, no mala, only jhadu in his hand. And he was trying to teach cleanliness throughout his life. Ultimately what happened, whenever there used to be a big function, they used to wait, Gadge Maharaj has not come for cleaning. So he used to come and clean, and these people used to come and put the litter and go away. See, don't waste your time on the world. The world has been like, for example in India, if you try to improve the traffic, you will become miserable. Then what is to be done? When you are in Rome, be like Romans. When you are in America, wash dishes. This is a rule. Don't waste your time. See? So we get out of the Adi Bhautik, come to the Adi Daivik, and we get out of the benefits of living at the Adi Daivik level. Don't get lost. Then we come to Adhyatmik. Now that mind is no more selfish, no more extrovert. Such a mind is now employed into Chittam Mantraha. With such a mind, chanting of the Lord's name is done. See? Now that mind with the mantra dissolves. See, friends, Chittam Mantraha. मंत्राणाम जीवभूता तु या स्मृता शक्तिरव्यया तया ही ना वरारोहे निष्फला शरद ब्रवत. Now, when we are chanting the mantra, but if we have not invoked the dormant potentiality contained in the mantra, called as Adi Daivik Shakti, then those mantras are like the Sharada Bhravat, like the clouds which shower lot of sound, but not a drop of water. Sharada Bhravat. There are two types of clouds. Those clouds who make only noise but never rain. And those clouds which rain also make less noise. See, friends, in the same manner, we are simply chanting mechanically Ram 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 Ram. Nothing is going to happen. That is not the right way. उच्चार्यमाणा ये मंत्रात् न मंत्राश्चापि तद विदुहु मोहिता देव गंधर्वा मिथ्या ज्ञानेन गर्विता. It is said, ये मंत्राः उच्चार्यमाणा न मंत्राश्चापि तान् विदुः. Simply chanting the mantras but not knowing the secret of this mantra rahasya. See? Then such people, they spend their whole time chanting the Lord's name, and at the end of the life, they are only frustrated, depressed. In Guwahati, Assam, many years before, I went to somebody's house, some businessman, and he told me, Swamiji, this is my Matoshri. So I went, did namaskar to her. She said, Swamiji, I am Rama Bhakta and I am writing the Rama Nam, and these are the copies I have written. Kindly bless them. I said, okay, Rama blessed. What can you talk to old people? The only way to deal with the old people is to finish it immediately. Okay, over. Then she said, don't you like to see how I write? I said, okay, show. What is there to see in Rama writing? But she was genius. She has written Ram Nam in the binary language. You know binary language which is used for computers? 0, 1, 0, 1, like that. Ra, so one long line. Then A, small line. Then Ma, one long line. Then A, small line. So one big, one small, one big, one small, one big. Like, you know, the needle is moving and the whole copy is filled in. I said, Mama, what is this design? Is it a Rangoli? No, Swamiji, this is Ramanam. I said, oh, very good. There was no Ra, there is no Ma. Mechanically things are being done. See, friends, get out of this mechanical lifestyle. Therefore, पृथक मंत्रो नो सिद्ध्यति कदाचन ज्ञान मूलविदम सर्वम अन्यथा नैव सिद्ध्यति. Therefore, when the mantras are separate from each other, Ram, Ram, so they are separate. Now merge them into one. Ram, Ram. How can we merge them in one? They are two. It is something like this. Where from the Rama begins, be aware of that point. This is called a Bindu. You know, in Guru Stotra there is a shloka. Bindu nada kalatitam tasmai Shri Gurave namaha. What is the Bindu nada kala? We come to that Bindu. So, the Rama begins from that point. Ram. Then be aware where it has disappeared. Again practice. Ram. Where from it begins, it goes back to the same point. Bindu means origin. Now this Rama has come from this origin. Ram. Gone back to the same point. Again, Ram. Again gone to the same point. Ram. Now see, that point is Bindu. Then Bindu expands as Nad. Bindu is beginning. Then Ra, expansion. And this sound is written on the paper Rama, or Bhagwan Rama figure comes in front of our mind. So Bindu, Nada and Kala, Kala is the form. Bindu, Nada, Kalatitam. When, be very attentive, when Rama was chanted, we begin from the Bindu, Ra. The Rama is maintained in me, then the Rama goes back to the same Bindu. And when there is no chanting, even then, I continue to be. I never disappear. So who is this I? Bindu Nada Kala Atita, the one who is beyond the origin, sustenance and disappearance. Kala is Adi Bhautik. This Bhagavan Krishna statue is Kala. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. These words are Kala. They are in our mind, they are Nada. Unless something manifests in the mind in the form of the thought, it cannot be expressed in the form of a word outside. So when the Bindu is expanding and remaining in the mind, it is called as Nada, and when the Nada is expressing in any form, it is called as Kala. So, Sri Ram, first Kala, the gross form of the Ram. Sri Ram. Now Rama is forgotten outside, now Rama is discovered inside. The net result is, first our japa chanting is by speech, Vaikhari Vani. Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Ram, 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 Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Ram. Then we stop that. Now Rama is nowhere outside. We come within Madhyama Vani. We come back inside. Parashruti Gochara, when others can hear, it is called a Vaikhari Vani. When others cannot hear, but they can imagine that he is chanting something, that is Madhyama Vani. And then Kala, Nada, then we come to Bindu. Bindu is the Umbalikas, the Manipur Chakra, where from the Nada the sound begins. So, Bindu, Nada, Kala, Atita, that which is beyond the Manipur, Anahata and Vishuddha Chakra. Where then? Paravani. So Vaikhari, Madhyama, Vaikhari in the mouth, Madhyama in the throat, Pashyanti in the Umbalikas and Para at the Mooladhar. Bindunada Kalatitam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. This is the meaning of mantra. See, friends. Then what happens? We had dropped the objectivity, then we came to the thought of the name of the Lord. Then we dropped the name, then we came to the absence of the thought or the name. And then we went beyond the presence and the absence of the thought or the name. That is the meaning of the Chittam Mantra. See, friends, if you just take simple words, oh, Chittam Mantra, the mind is, consciousness. It should mean. And this is possible when we are dug deep into the depth of mind, what mind is. For us, mind means a problematic instrument. So, Bindunada Kalatita Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Now, after having said this, that the mind is nothing but consciousness. Consciousness with thoughts is mind. Mind without thoughts is consciousness. See how simple it is. Man with wife is husband. Husband without a wife is man. Now, who is miserable? Find out. Mind is miserable. Husband is miserable. Consciousness is not miserable. Man is not miserable. Now, how the man is reduced to husband? Because of the conditioning of the wife. In the same manner, how the consciousness is reduced to the mind? By introduction of the element of objectivity. That is why all the intelligent people, educated people, well-read people, they are unable to drop the objectivity. They go on talking about consciousness, awareness, etc. as if it is something other than them. On the contrary, if one is rooted in the truth, one naturally becomes silent. Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasasa. See, friends, the more we live in awareness, the world disappears. This is the meaning of Mantra Shakti. Now, how this can be achieved, sir? So, Prayatna Sadhakaha. Now here, the technique is given. Normally, by the Prayatna, we mean efforts. Okay? Put efforts. But in case of the spiritual practice, efforts are obstacles. Don't put efforts. Exactly this is what happens. When we are, suppose, take the same mantra, we are given a mantra. Like many people ask me, Swamini, give some mantra. I said, I never given to anybody, I won't give to you also. No, but they say, no, Guru Maharaj gives mantra. See, yes, they say is right. Then why don't you give? I say, I am not a Guru. Simple. No, but Mahatmas give. I said, I am a Chota Atma, not a Mahatma. Don't get lost in all that. See? So, Prayatna means what? First, wrong understanding of Prayatna. Wrong understanding is Guru Maharaj has given mantra and he told us to do the japa of, Maha Mantra. He liked me so much that he said, I like you so much, therefore, like others, I won't give you a small mantra, I'll give you a Maha Mantra. Biasness introduced right from there onwards. See, a Guru, he introduces biasness on account of something, he is a Mahaguru. Mahaguru means Guru from Maharashtra. In Maharashtra, everything is Maha. See, if you call a Maharashtrian Murkh, they don't like it. Mahamurkh, it's okay. See, Beyakuf, no. Mahabeyakuf, it's okay. So, When this mantra is given, then we are told, okay, now you chant this Maha Mantra, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. This chant this mantra for, 36 malas per day. 36 malas per day. I don't know how to do it. One person showed me this. His friend told, somebody, he is always complaining. I also do the same mantra. Our Guru has given us together. And I do the 36 malas, but he is not able to do it. I said, really, you must be feeding it to the computer. Then only it can be done. I said, show me how you do it. So he took out the mala from his pocket. And then he started showing how he does the mantra. See, normally what we do mantra, we say like that, you hold the bead, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, one. You pull it towards yourself. Then, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Second. Like that 108 times. Like that 36 malas. How much time it will take? So he is today. I do like this thing. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. 5 times over. I said, now I appreciate the statement of a Mahatma. The Maya of the human being is more difficult to transcend than the Maya of Bhagavan. See? Now such a genius, this is not, it is not meant for playing, So we don't have much time and we have to do that. Then how do we do? See? You will see these Buddhist people when they go around that wheel or they are having the mala in their left hand all the time. Because we are putting efforts, and efforts are leading to a wrong understanding. See, when the sound terminates in the silence, and we come to recognize that silence and sounds are both supported by me, which is beyond both the sound and the silence, then the meaning of the mantra is revealed. See? And for that, the teacher says, Prayatna sadhakaha. Prayatna means effortless glide into the self. No more efforts. See, many seekers suffer in their life only because of this wrong understanding. They struggle, never struggle in life. Whenever you struggle, you are going the wrong way. See, if you swim along the current of the river, you won't struggle. It will be a comfortable swim. But when you go against, you will only struggle. See, friends, we have not practiced yama, niyama, asana, pranayam, pratyahar, and then we start sitting meditation. So what we are doing, mind is extrovert, and the extrovert mind is pulled this way. I don't know, whenever I sit for meditation, then only the dirty thoughts come. Complain. Because you are putting wrong efforts. See, friends, prayatna means effortlessness in this context. So how much effortlessness? How much effort it takes for the wife to become a woman? How much time it takes for the wife to become the woman? 0, because wife is woman first and then wife. In the same manner, first we are divine. See, friends, we don't have to become That is our essential nature. And wherever there are efforts, we are not normal. See? Take for example, those who are hard of hearing, they have to put lot of efforts to listen. Then what happens? They get tired very quickly because they are putting efforts. Then such people go to sleep in satsang. And when the satsang is over, they are the first to wake up from the sleep. And then they will come and tell, Swamiji, you are awesome. How you could put me to sleep? See, friends, now why they get tired? Because they are putting efforts. If there are no efforts, you will not be tired in life. Now see the practical example. We practice pranayam. How long can you practice it? 1 year? No, 1 year. Then maximum maybe 10 times. Anulom Vilom. No, but you are a great yogi, you should do pranayam for 1600 times. No, I can't do that. My nose will break. Then, how many times we breathe every day? Same number of times. But breathing happens. It is not done. Therefore, we are not tired of breathing. But when we do pranayam, we are tired because it is not a normal condition. So two things. Wherever there are efforts, we are not normal. Wherever there are efforts, Mr. I is born. And because of that, we struggle in our spiritual life, and yet at the end of the day, we are only frustrated. I have taken Lord's name so many times, but what happened? To whom? To Lord? Anybody who complains on the spiritual path, he is going the wrong way. Prayatna sadhakaha, effortlessness ultimately fructifies in success. Patanjali Maharshi gives this Sat Sutra when he says, asanaha sthira sukham asanam. Asanam is sthira sukham, steady bliss. Steady bliss means that which doesn't increase, that which doesn't decrease. Now what is that which doesn't increase and decrease? Only one thing. That which is infinite, that alone cannot increase, cannot decrease. Sukham, this infinite bliss, abidance in the infinite bliss is called as asanam. Not sitting in a particular posture and waiting for the bell to go ten, meditation over. See, friends, that is not meditation. Once I went somewhere, international yoga conference. I really enjoy because you get good food and nice, time pass. That's the only purpose I go. But I don't do anything of yoga. So, that person took us. He calls himself and others also Jagat Guru, so and so Maharaj. Very good. It was scorching sun on the seaside, humidity, heat, and he made everybody one or two bushes here and there, stones, rocks. Sit down everybody, and then I'll ring the bell, start meditation, again I'll ring the bell, stop meditation. He said, and tan, like the bell which we have before God, and he rang. That bell is in his pocket always for meditation. And I said, my God, I can't sit over here. So I was sitting below a tree on a parapet wall and watching the whole thing. And because I was watching, I could see the nice drama. Everybody looking here and there. Because heat from below, heat from above, you are roasted, It was a baking meditation. Not awakening, but baking. And after some time, again, everybody was awakened from the baking oven. That is not meditation. Prayatna Shaithilya Ananta Samapatibhyam. Steady bliss is possible when you attain absolute effortlessness. This is what is meant here. Prayatna sadhakaha. If you have efforts, you are going the wrong way. Efforts are not required to be. Wherever there are efforts, we become. On the spiritual path, knowing is being. But for us, spirituality is knowing is becoming. Earlier I was a drunkard. I used to drink wine every day. Now I drink alternate days. So I is improving. Earlier I used to take non-vegetarian every day. Now I take only fish, not non-vegetarian. Earlier I used to go to the movies. Now I don't go to the movies. I watch them on my TV. See, to whom are we cheating? We have to get freedom from this I. Till such time I is there, there will be efforts. See, before we go to sleep, how much efforts we put? And what is the last effort? Last effort is, I is still struggling. I want to sleep. I want to sleep. I want to sleep. Till such time I is there, there will be want, desire. But when the I is dropped, the desire goes away and sleep begins, even in satsanga. Therefore, those people who sleep in satsanga, I like them very much. They have already discarded the I. And others are still struggling how to discard the I. Prayatna Shaithilya, relax and sleep. See, friends, zero effort. Prayatna sadhakaha. Sadhaka doesn't mean a person. Sadhaka means fructifying. The one which gives siddhi is sadhakaha. So, when our life becomes more and more effortless, to that extent we will be nearer our essential nature. See, friends. And when we are near our essential nature, no I, see, as it happens in deep sleep, try to snore when you are awake. Try. When you are awake, you cannot snore. And when you are in deep sleep, you don't care for others. You snore because you are not there. See, friends. Therefore, the husband and wife, when they fight, in one place it happened, she told Swamiji, he snores so loudly, tell him something. So, I was not talking anything. Then he said, husband, Swamiji, she wakes me unnecessarily, I tell her I am not snoring and again I go to sleep. But then again you start snoring. They were fighting and I was enjoying. Then I said, look here Mama, I will take his side. What he tells is true, he doesn't snore. I know you will take his side. I say, I am telling you the truth. He who snores is not your husband. Because when he is not identified with his body, how can he be your husband? Then who snores? I said, Bhagavan. So what should I do? I said, whenever you snore, take the arti, Om Jai Jagadishare. See? The day this I will disappear, be attentive. Life will become effortless. And when the life becomes effortless, two things happen. Number one, We don't struggle to prove anything to anybody in this world. We are all struggling to prove. The husband struggles to prove to the wife he loves her. The wife struggles to prove to the husband she understands him. If she had understanding, she will never get married to him. It is out of misunderstanding that the marriage has happened. See, friends, but the whole life goes only in struggling to prove something. The day you stop proving, you are effortless. See, like many Mahatmas tell, Swamiji, you take food outside also? Yes. No, you should not take outside. I say, okay, I'll not take outside. Why discuss? This is one simple technique I'll tell you. Anywhere where there is a possibility of discussion, immediately say yes. Cut the discussion there and there itself. There is nothing to discuss in this world. Okay. Then others say, but you take outside. I said, look here, I got certain rules. Like everybody, I have got rules. What are your rules? My rules are, I take food only outside. Rules only you want, is it not? You don't take at home. I said, no. Why? I have no home. So what you call your food is at home, it is for me outside food. Where is my home? It is difficult to talk to you. I said, keep quiet. You don't need to talk. Prayatna Shaithilya. Let us not prove anything to anybody. If somebody calls you fool, don't get agitated. Don't underestimate me. You don't know who am I. You have not seen the height of my foolishness. Height of your foolishness? Yes. What is that? I am talking to you. See, it is something like talking to a wall. Is it not? Suppose I keep on talking to the wall. Is it not foolishness? Why are you talking? No, because I am a fool. So you are a mobile wall. Wallpaper. So, prayatna sadhakaha. Ayameva udayastasya dheyasya dhyai chetasi tadatmaka samapattihi ichchataha sadhakasya. Therefore, all the spiritual practice is this. Don't struggle in life to prove anything to anybody. Number one. The second one is, don't try to justify anything. The moment you justify, you are caught up in cause and effect. What is justification? Giving some points to prove that what you have done is right and not wrong. There is justification. Never do that. I'll give an example. Once we were going in Bombay for my lecture, evening lecture. Those days there were no flyovers. So when the railway crosses, we have to wait there till the railway goes. So once we were going, we just near the gate, it fell down. So we have to wait. 15 minutes it took for the gate to open. So the person who was driving me, he said, Swamiji, shall I go and tell them? I said, who is giving lecture, you or me? Swamiji, of course you are giving. Then why you are worried? Relax. No, but we are late. I said, who asked you? Nobody asked. Then, why don't you keep your mouth shut? Okay, Swamiji, I was just thinking. I said, who asked you to think? Why don't you relax? I don't know how to talk to you. Then why do you talk? He got so disgusted. And then I went to the stage and started my lecture, and whatever 15 minutes was late, I pulled it 15 minutes later, and everything was over. Nowhere any mention that I am late, I am sorry. After everything was over, then he said, Swamiji, nobody even thought that you are late. I said, because you are thinking on behalf of everybody. See, friends, don't try to justify anything in life. Justification tells that you are guilty. Don't justify. Whenever we are guilty in our life, we try to justify. No, actually, I did not hit him purposely, but it is for his benefit. The person whom you hit, he didn't even care. You keep on hitting, who cares? And you go on justifying. Try these two things. Then sadhakaha, then the mind with the help of the mantra will dissolve in consciousness. And if there is a struggle, we are constantly struggling. So, we will be never able to achieve. Amishantu yatha swastaha sampashyan chakuni priyet kshipram akarshayed vegena sahajena tu. Example is given in this commentary that when the bird is up in the sky, particularly the kites, when they are up hovering over, and when they see anything eatable, any dead animal or bird or whatever, they come down so fast and pick it up. You must have seen in these various documentaries, Animal Planet or Discovery, in one it is shown that the birds, how they see from above, inside the water where there is the fish, from there they like an arrow, they go deep, immediately catch the fish and come out and fly away. How effortlessly. They don't say, shuru karo, Rama. No. They just instantaneously, they like an arrow shoot and go deep in the water, catch the fish and come out. How effortless it is. Exactly the same way. Prayatna sadhakaha. The more effortless we are nearer to our own being. Be attentive. In becoming, there are efforts. In being, there are no efforts. See? One example I'll give you. How efforts make us miserable. And efforts are the one what we are putting in our life. Once it was a management conference, and management is nothing but a bluff session. And I am expert in that. So I was conducting that. All the neckties Hari were there sitting. I said, today we learn the principle of management. And I said, among you, who is a Sindhi? I want one person as experiment, but he should be Sindhi. So one Sindhi came. Please stand here, sir. Then I had ordered, and it was covered, papad. Sindhi means papad. If you want to make a Sindhi happy, show him papad, he is happy. Brahmanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Papad Murtim. So, I said, this is what? He said, papad. I said, okay, lift it. He lifted. I said, hold it like this. And till I tell you, hold it like this. Okay. And then I started talking all other things. As if I have forgotten this person. After maybe half a minute or 1 minute, his hand started going down. I said, excuse me, gentlemen, your hand is going down, lift it up. Oh, I'm sorry. Again, after 1 minute, half a minute, again they go down. I said, come on, lift it up. After 3, 4, Swamiji, I can't hold anymore. I said, okay, you did a good experiment for us to learn something. Now you can take the papad and eat. If you want to make Ganesh ji happy, give him modakam. If you want to make Hanuman ji happy, give him vada mala. If you want to make Sindhi happy, give him papad. So he went happily. Then I said, let us learn the principle. When you lifted the papad, what was the weight? Suppose the weight was 10 grams. After 1.5 minutes, has the weight of the papad increased? It has not increased. Why? You were tired. Then, after 2 minutes, has the weight of the papad increased? No. Why? You were more tired. Exactly this is what is our life. We are holding on to silly things for a longer period of time, and therefore we get into depression, dejection, frustration. Drop. Don't hold on to anything in this world. Drop it. Throw it away. It's not worth anything, anybody in the whole world who is a cause, source of disturbance to you. Just select, shift, delete. Don't bother about anything. What is important is your peace of mind. See, I'll give an example. There is somebody somewhere. That somebody somewhere is a very good person, no doubt. But is a source of like a fish thorn in the throat of a Bengali. How miserable it is. In the same manner, that person is good, but the goodness is so disgusting and obnoxious. And what you can do at the most, you try to help, you try to do. But when the person is kutastha, not changing at all, then what can you do? You change. This is what God does. He gave us the opportunity to grow spiritually, therefore He made us human beings. And if we don't change, then He changes. Never mind beta. Next life, pig. What? Somebody has to change. A seeker should change himself by way of keeping away from all that what disturbs us. See? Swami, it is okay for you, but suppose in the same house there are two persons. I said, why do you take imaginary examples? No, suppose. I said, you are again supposing. When you go to the doctor, do you talk to the doctor like this thing? Suppose somebody has dysentery, what should he do? Let the dysentery fellow go, why you worry? Are you having dysentery? Yes, Swamiji. Then what will you tell that? So suppose there are two persons in the family and they are not happy with each other. So the question is, who are those two people? Neighbor? No. Your parents? No. Then who? We too. What is to be done? See, friends, the more you become subjective, the world will not disturb you. If you sit on the giant wheel, you must have sat sometime, and when the wheel goes down, what happens in the stomach? Oh! And again it goes up, again it comes down, and as you start migrating from the periphery, come to the center, the hub, there, no different, no problem. Exactly. When we are at the periphery of our personality, the periphery of our personality includes possessions and relations. If you remain in possessions and relations, you are bound to suffer the ups and downs of life. Migrate to the center, the hub that you are. And then we come to know, Mayyeva sakalam jatam, Mayi sarvam pratishtitam, Mayi sarvam layam yati, Tad brahmadvayamasmyaham. Come back to yourself. And you know what is coming back to yourself? Stop coming and going. What spiritual practice the part space has to do to be the total space? No, nothing. Like the total space doesn't become wet because of the waters, in the same manner, part space doesn't become wet when you put water in it. The total space doesn't get burned by the fire, in the same manner, the part space doesn't get burned by the fire. Be attentive. Paramatma is not influenced by the contents of this world. In the same manner, Jivatma is also not influenced by the content of the world. See how simple it is. Just observe. Like eyes are illuminating all the colors and forms, but eyes are not influenced by any color and form. If there are more number of people, is it a burden to the eyes to see them? If there are less number of people, is it lightness? No. The rule is, illuminator is not influenced by illumined. Whether we hear the Bhagwan's name or we hear the disco music, it makes no difference to the ears. Whether there are bad or good thoughts, it makes no difference to the mind. Whether it is waking, dream, deep sleep or samadhi, it makes no difference to the consciousness. Now what sadhana will you do? So what is the spiritual practice of japa sadhana? If we are doing the japa sadhana, life becomes effortless. Unless we remain effortless in our day-to-day dealing with the world, we will be struggling on the spiritual path. Because our external presentation is different and internal composition is different. Externally we try to show, I am very good, I am very nice, I wake up early in the morning, 3 o'clock, and then again I go to sleep. To whom are you showing? And what do you want to prove in this world? Never try to prove, you are at home with yourself. Prayatna sadhakaha. This alone will lead to the fructification of the mantra sadhana. Otherwise, many people keep on chanting mantra and they are never benefited because they are not understood the secret of this mantra sadhana. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.